If you like what we do here at Full Fat Videos, and you'd like to ask us questions directly, suggest new video topics, or hear our thoughts on the latest pop culture info nuggets, you can follow us on Twitter at Full Fat Videos. Long have I waited to see the final season of Clone Wars, and it didn't disappoint, unlike that other Star Wars thing I just referenced. Dave Filoni and the team finally scratched that 7-year itch and delivered on a thrilling, affecting wrap-up, featuring episodes that could stand amongst some of the best of the original run in my humble opinion. One such example was the 10th episode of the final season, The Phantom Apprentice. Nice title. Ahsoka Tano and Maul probably represent two of the show's crowning achievements. Ahsoka, an original character for the series that grew throughout the story and became a fan favourite right up there with the most beloved live-action characters. Maul, an example of how to resurrect a dead character and do it right, giving him more texture and personality than he ever had in the 2-ish lines he had in The Phantom Menace. Surely pitting the two of them against each other in a titanic clash of ideals is the perfect foundation for a show-stopping lightsaber duel. You may remember last year I did a little video called, that's right, this is the greatest animated lightsaber duel ever, in which I detailed what made Obi-Wan and Maul's final encounter in Twin Suns such an immense payoff to a long-standing rivalry. I really did think that was the best duel in Star Wars animation, but is that reign over? Is there a new greatest animated lightsaber duel ever? What am I going to call this video if it is? What am I going to call the last video? Someone called John David Washington. I've got to do some inversion. To find out, I'm going to be breaking down what makes the Ahsoka duel so satisfying. The only thing for certain, either way Maul is taking home the trophy. Win for Maul. This is the Ahsoka Maul duel from The Phantom Apprentice, the greatest animated lightsaber duel ever. Well, maybe we'll see. I'm recording the introduction before I finish writing this sucker, so maybe I'll be convinced, maybe I won't. Anyway, the episode starts right in the mess as we witness Ahsoka, blades drawn, wondering who the hell this insidious looking motherfucker is.
I imagine we have several mutual friends.
Someone's been checking out Ahsoka's Facebook page. Creepy.
Master Kenobi had a more important engagement.
Indeed.
Love it. Maul is Kenobi's nemesis, but try as hard as he might, Maul is at the bottom of the Jedi Master's to-do list. You know, it just burns him to know Kenobi has been living in his head, rent-free, but it's unrequited on the other side. It's also a little sad in the context of the release order between Rebels and Clone Wars final season. We all know Maul is due to perish in Twin Suns, and yet here, all these years earlier, we're witnessing the Rogue One fail to stir even a peep out of Kenobi. His fate is sealed when Kenobi has the time and the patience to deal with him. He's otherwise engaged. Maul is episode 1 shit, baby. Obi-Wan has got bigger fish to fry, like chosen ones. So if we know Maul is going to survive, we know Ahsoka is going to survive, the duel needs more than just the fragile line between life and death. What driving narrative point will make this fight interesting and serve the story of both characters going into Star Wars Rebels?
Soon the Jedi and the Republic will no longer be the controlling interest in the galaxy.
This is just an awesome idea. Maul knows Order 66 is going to happen, he knows how tenacious and insidious Sidious is, he has no doubts that his plan will succeed. Unlike the Jedi, Maul would rather sit back and watch everything burn, because he knows there's no stopping it.
The Chancellor has been a great friend and mentor to Anakin. I can't imagine he is happy about this.
Of course, Ahsoka points out the painfully obvious thing, something rooted in emotional intelligence that the Jedi were too ignorant to consider. They have blind faith in the fact that a Jedi is a Jedi. They will remain one, even when their loyalties are tested with their friends, even when they are asked to directly betray said friends' trust. Present throughout this whole episode is that idea of their ignorance, and it all comes from the fact that their misguided attempts to stomp out attachments has left them weak and ineffective. It's laughable that we're even getting Anakin to spy on Palpatine. They are years too late. A sentiment propagated by Maul in the very same episode. He's there to represent that viewpoint, that the wheels have already been in motion for so long that the only thing to do now is sit back and watch as the Jedi Order destroys itself.
Ahsoka, the Council isn't always right.
Frustrating that Obi-Wan could admit that, but as we saw in Revenge, still pushed Anakin into taking the spy assignment.
Clones, bred for combat, all part of the plan.
Because it's all part of the plan.
Maul is literally standing there telling Jesse that his entire existence, his reason for being, it's a lie. He's a pawn in a larger arc, never made to fight a righteous war, but a jack-in-the-box laying in wait until he can be used to do the one thing that matters: killing the Jedi. Everyone in this episode is a puppet of Palpatine, so too is Maul, but he can see the strings.
The only plan that matters. Not even I was made aware of its grand design. But I played my part.
I love this recurring theme that Maul is so deeply alone. Forever the galaxy's garbage, no matter what he seems to do, he ends up on the fringes, thrown away.
I was cast aside. I was forgotten.
Facing Order 66 and the end of the Republic, knowing that he had a part to play and was nothing more than a tool, a means to an end, his entire life was a trick, it's fitting these feelings come to light again just before we witness all the clones go through this same realization.
You said he wanted Kenobi here.
It wasn't just Kenobi he wanted, no. There was someone else he was interested in.
He doesn't want you at all. He's after somebody called Skywalker.
Before Vader tried to set a trap for the Emperor's prize many years in the future, Maul would attempt it first. I like that the final run references Vader's trap in Empire, Kylo's offer in Jedi, Vader's massacre in Rogue. It's making a point of tying all these different visions of Star Wars together. Even the stuff you might not have liked, that Star Wars is Star Wars to somebody, and Dave Filoni gets that. Rather than trying to put stakes in the ground and drive conflict in the fan base, I think he really makes strides to bring us all together, which is, when you think about it, it's some full tilt Jedi shit.
At the time, I thought Dooku was an old fool, but now I see. He and I are the same.
It's heartbreaking to think that Dooku could have been one of the greatest Jedi to ever live. Maul didn't have to be a weapon.
The dark side has never been stronger.
But here we are, when it's all too late, Palpatine has already won, and surprisingly, this episode is more meditative than we might have first thought. Before the fateful duel begins, it's all about Maul realising how twisted and used he truly was, how his pain isn't even unique, and yet at the same time he has no one to share it with. Well, almost no one.
We were both tools for greater powers.
Pitting Maul and Ahsoka against each other is interesting beyond the classic who would win in a fight, as thrilling as that can be. They are both exiles from their respective orders, Maul was left for dead to fend for himself, the rule of two a tragic misnomer, there is no master and apprentice in the Sith, only puppet and puppeteer.
You were motivated to leave by the hypocrisy of the Jedi Council.
Ahsoka thought she was becoming a Jedi to be a peacekeeper, but all she has ever known is being a soldier. They were both promised something different, but they're also both smart enough to figure out things on their own, and if needs be, carve out a new, uncharted path.
With your help, the Jedi can stop Sidious before it's too late.
For what? The Republic to fall? It already has, and you just can't see it.
I just love how he talks about all of these things in the past tense, matter of fact, it's already over. Ahsoka is still trying to hold on to the old ways, the old narrative where the Jedi defeat evil in the name of the Republic. She's still holding on! Let go! The parallels to The Last Jedi are clear here. Maul's offer is about rejecting both the dogma of the Jedi and the Sith. It's about letting the past die, it's about seeking the chance to carve out something new between them.
The time of the Jedi has passed.
The Sith, the Jedi, the rebels, let it all die.
There is no justice, no law, no order, except for the one that will replace it.
It's time to let old things die.
But together, you and I,
We can rule together and bring a new order to the galaxy.
every choice you have made has led you to this moment.
Join me.
The fate of the Republic, of the Jedi, that's all sealed in Maul's eyes. But there's this one chance, their only chance, to actually enact change. Maul and Ahsoka, not bound by rules and ideals, they might just be able to destroy Sidious together. And incredibly, unlike Rey, who doubles down on the old order, the old ways, Ahsoka chooses the unexpected.
I will help you.
If only it were that easy.
What do you want with Anakin Skywalker?
Really, if what Maul was offering was true, if he really did want to create something new, to tear down the old ways, overthrow Sidious, and let everything fall, They would have formed a relationship. But he doesn't really want those things. He falls back on the same mantra of the Sith: to overpower, to possess. He wants to destroy Anakin Skywalker.
I orchestrated this war to lure him here with Kenobi, to kill him.
Ahsoka, quite rightfully, knows that his plan to destroy Anakin is no different to what Palpatine has in store for her dear old friend.
I know Anakin.
At the same time, would she have taken up her blades against Maul if she had even a shred of doubt about Anakin? If she saw what he would become as Maul did, maybe even then, even on a path to destroy, maybe she would have joined Maul. It's a great setup. It makes you question it. It makes you question these characters' allegiances. One that makes this fight worth the price of admission, even when we know both combatants will live to fight another day. Now, there's a big thing that sets this fight apart from the other animated duels I've covered. It is a triumph as much as it is a failing. Well, I don't want to say failing. None of this spectacular work from all the people that put time and effort in is a failure, but it's something that really holds the key to this duel in my mind. The answer to the question, is this the greatest animated lightsaber duel? The Clone Wars team utilised motion capture for this battle, even managing to get the man synonymous with Maul's physical presence back to own the role that made him a household name: Ray Park.
Why don't we bring Ray in and do some motion capture? He could be Maul, one more time.
Alongside Park, the team brought in veteran stunt performer Lauren Mary Kim to create Ahsoka's physical presence. The result is exactly what you'd expect when you get two professional stunt maestros to go at it. That weighted, brutal physicality we recognise from The Phantom Menace pours into The Phantom Apprentice, and it's a joy to see.
So when we see Maul fighting, it's going to be really Maul fighting.
You can sense that Filoni knew they had created something special with the Twin Sons duel, directly referencing the need for the Ahsoka Maul battle to go big and bombastic, as a direct contrast to what we saw before.
As much as the Obi-Wan versus Maul fight was brief, I wanted this fight to be big.
And I think that's part of the problem for me. The understated beauty of that fight, why it works so well, it's so difficult to top because it is so unique amongst everything else in the Star Wars world. We're used to and expect drawn out and epic duels like the Battle of Mustafar, the Duel of the Fates, and so on. Twin Sons took a gamble, and I think it paid off, but that's the mic drop. Anything else involves awkwardly getting back up on stage and pinching the mic and hoping no one is still looking forward. At the same time, the choreography is really, seriously awesome.
You're lucky Anakin didn't show up.
Every swing, dodge and parry works tremendously well and slots into that perfect sweet spot between being a dance full of finesse and a get-down-dirty slugfest. I guess really I'm torn, because it is very cool that they got Ray Park back and they motion captured this whole thing, because it does make it feel like a proper live action duel, but at the same time, that means you lose some of the charm of the weightlessness and movement of the original CGI Clone Wars characters. Not everything needs to be realistic, and particularly in the case of animated Star Wars, the stuff I love the best is usually the most outlandish and fantastical. The Ahsoka Maul fight is probably the closest the animated sphere has come to a realistic lightsaber duel. And whilst it is a very cool experiment, I can't help but wonder why it wasn't so hard for Disney to just let Ray Park swing a saber in live action. One cameo and that's it. Are you kidding me? Seeing the pair fighting on these beams is visually stunning and allows the shots to move more freely around the fight, framing it above and below to highlight the dangerous nature of their arena. Who doesn't love some precarious footing in the middle of a Star Wars lightsaber duel? Great stuff.
We could have destroyed Sidious.
Only for you to take his place.
Palpatine hates the control the Jedi have over the galaxy and seeks to end that by taking control himself. Maul, claiming his objective is to destroy such evil, once again just wants to sit in the hot seat and take that power for his own. Ahsoka is special because she rejects this great chain. Maybe the fate of the galaxy shouldn't be bound up in a handful of sorcerers, orchestrating petty power plays whilst every other planet burns. Maul, ever the downtrodden underdog, manages to relieve Ahsoka of both of her sabers. In most Star Wars duels, that's end of play, not here. Once again, the outcome of this duel is not about who bests who, it is a clash of ideals.
Join me, or die.
Never.
Ahsoka then wrecks Maul, overpowering him with precision as she defeats him without so much as a single weapon. Awesome. Before being dangled in the air in a rather humiliating fashion. That puppet on a string metaphor comes full circle here, don't you think? This duel sets the stage for the final stretch of Ahsoka's Clone War journey, a stunning final 40 minutes that sees how she survived Order 66, right up until a quietly affecting final scene where Invader mourns the death of Anakin Skywalker, and with it, that special bond he once shared. It's told visually, in the cuts, masterful animation. So, is it the new best animated lightsaber duel? I'm going to say no. It's top tier, don't get me wrong. One of the best for sure, both amongst the animated and live action spheres, but I don't think it's quite as powerful as the understated payoff we get in Twin Suns. Yes, we get more bang for our buck here, but sometimes less is more, you know? There's something so powerful and sad in Maul waiting his entire life for revenge, only to be cut down in 3 saber swings, give or take. It's operatic and grand and totally Star Wars. Not to say this Ahsoka duel isn't, but Twin Suns hits the nail on the head that touch more for me. In terms of raw choreography and thrills, it's probably Phantom Apprentice that takes home the prize, but it's never just about that. Story, character, these things must always come first. These are the elements that keep you thinking about it for a long time to come. But really, I mean, we're just comparing Jaffa Cakes to Jammy Dodgers here, it's all f***ing delicious. Dave Filoni and the team who brought us so much quality Star Wars knocked it out of the park yet again, and I can only sit here and salivate at the prospect of more Filoni orchestrated Ahsoka action in The Mandalorian. Thank you for watching another full fat video. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit the bell if you'd like to see more breakdowns of movies, TV and more. A big thank you to our full fat tier patrons, Dr. Chike, Jax Merrick and Mike Nandu. You the boys. Until next time, keep it full fat.